Good morning everyone. We were discussing chapter 7, getting to know plants. So today in this video first we will recall what we have learned previously. So in this chapter we have discussed many types of plants on the basis of their size and type of stem. They are herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. So you find these different types of plants around you in your surrounding. Let us discuss them one by one. Herbs. These are the small size plant with soft and tender stem. For example, plants like wheat, rice, maize, jowar, bajra. These all are plants with soft and tender stem and they are small size as well. So these are herbs. So grass and the plants belonging to this grass family, they are called herbs. Then come to shrubs. Shrubs are medium sized plant. They are taller than the herbs and their stem is hard. Their stem is hard and these are in the form of mainly bushes. So rose plant, China rose, these comes in shrubs. Shrubs are medium sized plant and their stem is hard. Not very much thick but thicker than the herbs. Now come to the trees. Trees are very tall plants and they have very hard and thick stem. Their stem is very thick and we call it trunk. Above the trunk branches of these trees are present and in this way there are three main types of plants: herbs, shrubs and trees. I have also told you about climbers and creepers. Climbers and creepers, these are plants with weak stem. To climb up, they need support. So climbers are those plants with weak stem and they need support to climb up. Grapevine, money plant, these are the example of climbers. Pea plant, it is also an example of climber. They need support to climb up. And creepers, these are also the plant with weak stem, but they do not climb up, they creep on the ground. They crawl on the ground, that's why their name is creeper. These plants are with weak stem and they creep on the ground, they spread on the ground and that is why they are called creepers. Watermelons, melon, pumpkin, these are example of creepers. Now after this we have discussed important parts of a plant. We have discussed that stem is an important part of plant. Stem, the main function of stem is that it bears branches, leaves, flowers, fruit, buds and all the parts of plant they are bear by the stem. So stem bears branches, leaves, flowers, fruit, buds of a plant. Another important function of the stem is that the water which is absorbed by the root, it is transported to all parts of the plant with the help of stem. Right? In some of the plants, stem is also performing photosynthesis, like in the case of cactus plant. In the cactus plant, leaves, they are modified into spines and their stem is broad and green like leaves. And they perform photosynthesis. So in this way, stems, they perform many important functions in the plants. Then we have discussed about the leaves. Leaves are called food factory of the plant. They perform photosynthesis. With the help of chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, leaves, they prepare food for the plants. So leaves are called food factory of the plants. Another important function of leaf is transpiration. Leaf, they release water in the form of water vapors in the air and the process is called transpiration. Through the tiny pores present on the leaf, there are very tiny pores which are present on the leaf, we call them stomata. Through these stomata, when the stomata they open up, they release water in the form of water vapors. This is how transpiration takes place in leaves. And I have explained you that due to this transpiration, the water from the root, it rises up in the stem and reaches all parts of the plant. So, this is the function of leaf. Now let us discuss the important parts of a leaf. Here I am drawing structure of a leaf. So now let us talk about the important parts of a leaf. The stalk of leaf, the part of the leaf that join the leaf to the stem is called petiole. So petiole is the stalk, or you can say the part, S-T-A-L-K, stalk or part. The part of the leaf that join the leaf to the stem or branch is called petiole. Then there are lines present on the leaves. These lines which are present on the leaves, these are called veins. Many thin lines present on the leaf are called veins. In the middle of the leaf, there is a prominent line. This prominent line is called midrib. So, the prominent line in the middle of the leaf is called midrib, and the other thin line attached to the midrib, they are called veins. The broad green part of the leaf, the broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. Now listen again. Are you able to define all these parts? Petiole. Petiole is the stalk of leaf that join it to the stem. Then in the middle of the leaf there is a prominent line. We call it midrib. Attached to midrib there are many thin lines. These are called veins. And the broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. So these are the important parts of a leaf. And function of the leaf, I have told you that photosynthesis and transpiration. These are the two main important functions of the leaf. Now leaves on the basis of type of veins present on the leaf. If on the both side of the midrib, if the net-like design is formed by the vein, when net-like design is formed by the veins on both sides of the midrib, then it is called reticulate venation. So design formed by veins on the leaf is called leaf venation. Now we are talking about the leaf venation. So what is leaf venation? Design formed by the veins on the leaf is called leaf venation. I am telling you that it is of two types. Reticulate venation. Reticulate venation. And the other one is parallel venation. So what is leaf venation? Design formed by the veins on the both side of midrib is called leaf venation. Design formed by veins on a leaf is called leaf venation. It can be of two types, reticulate venation and parallel venation. So here you can see on both sides of the midrib, veins they are forming net-like design. When veins they form net-like design on both sides of the midrib, this type of venation is called reticulate venation. Now let's talk about the parallel venation. So in grasses, leaves of the grass, what you will find that on the leaves of the grass and other plants belonging to grass family like wheat, rice, maize, bajra, veins are parallel to each other. So this type of venation is called parallel venation. So when veins form net-like design on both sides of midrib, that type of venation is called reticulate venation. And if veins are parallel to each other, as in leaf of grass, then it is called parallel venation. I have told you about two types of roots also. So let us discuss that how venation and types of root are related to each other. You will find that the plants whose leaves are having reticulate venation, they have taproot system. In taproot system, there is a main root, and to this main root many branches are there, many side roots are there. We call them lateral roots. On the side of main roots, there are many branch roots. We call them lateral roots. So in taproot system, there is a main root and many lateral roots are attached to it. And another, so this is what? This is taproot system. Like leaves, root are also of two types, taproot and fibrous root. In fibrous root, there is no main root. Roots are like fibers only. They arise at the base of the stem. They are in the form of fibers. There is no main root in fibrous root. Roots are at the base of the stem and in the form of fibers only, thread-like structure only. So it is called fibrous root. So I have told you on the basis of venation, there are two types of leaf, reticulate venation and leaf having parallel venation. Similarly, root are also of two types, taproot having a main root with lateral roots. You can say branches of the main root are called lateral roots. So there is a main root with lateral roots. It is taproot system. And fiber-like roots are present. This is called fibrous root system. So there are two types of root, taproot and fibrous root. Now their connection with the leaves. See here, the leaves which are having reticulate venation, they have taproot system. In higher plants, you will find reticulate venation in the leaf like neem, peepal, banyan. In these plants, China rose, their leaves they are having reticulate venation. So, in case of China rose, peepal, banyan, what you will find? You will find reticulate venation in the leaf, and they have taproot system. On the other hand, if you see the leaves of grass, they have parallel venation. And if you uproot the grass, you will find they have fibrous root. So, parallel venation and fibrous root, they are interlinked. Means the plants which have parallel venation in their leaves, they have fibrous root system. And the plants which are having reticulate venation in their leaf, they have taproot. So clear to everyone? This is what we have learned in chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants.